back with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing my start of the season predictions for the Premier League. Now that we're at just about the halfway mark, spoiler alert, there is some absolute shockers in here. So yeah, I guess you're always going to get some wrong, but a couple of these I've got really, really wrong, really, really wrong. Well, three in particular. But let's dive into it, shall we? So it starts well. 20th, I had Southampton. They are in 20th. I said that they'd do a Burnley, and that Russell Martin is a philosophical zealot, and that turned out to be the case. I don't think you needed to be, Nostradamus to predict this one. He said it when they went up that he wasn't going to change anything, and that was his undoing. This is a bit of a culture in football now, and a lot of people are talking about this, and I think it's really bad. That young coaches now, they want an identity, and they have to have a defined style, and that's all well and good, and I praise that, but not being able to adapt and not having any elements of pragmatism to you is a bad thing. That's a really bad thing. I said that they would try and pass it out at the back, and then they wouldn't have the players to do it. Guess what's happened? And, at the minute, there's talk about them maybe going on to be the worst Premier League team of all time, beating Derby's record, I think they achieved 11 points. Southampton are on 6 at the halfway mark. Are they on 6 or are they on 5? They're on 6. And they look absolutely awful. They've got a new manager now, so let's see. Maybe they'll avoid Derby's record. That's what in all honesty, that's what they need to be aiming for now. Avoiding Derby's record. But I think they'll definitely still finish in 20th. They're so far behind. They're 8 points behind 19th. So they're finishing in 20th. 19th, I had Leicester, and they are currently in 19th. So the first two went really well. Let's just stop there, shall we? I thought they'd get a points deduction, which they haven't had a points deduction, but I said they struggle without Enzo, Maresca and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. That has turned out to be the case. I think that Steve Cooper was a really harsh sacking, to be honest. I don't know what Leicester's owners were expecting from him. They've got no money to spend, and so I thought he was doing an alright job, Steve Cooper. I really, really did. Thought that was very, very harsh. They're doing even worse under Van Nistelrooy. They're in 19th now. He's got a hell of a job on his hands. And I'm going to stick with my prediction of 19th for them. Okay, so this is the one that I got really wrong. Really, really wrong. I had Forest in 18th. My reasoning for that was I said that the owner is mental. I stand by that. I think he's absolutely crazy. I said that they're a basket case of a club based upon the volume of signings that they make, which I agree with that. I don't think that's sustainable. I think that's not good. However, I also said that Nuno was in the worst 3 managers in the league, and he's proven me wrong. Fair play, and I'm happy to say that. Good on him. He's doing an absolutely amazing job. Left me with egg on my face. They're currently in second, Forest, which is just phenomenal. I don't think they will finish in second though. So I'm predicting now that they'll finish in 6th, Forest. I hope they prove me wrong. Again, they've proven me wrong spectacularly at the halfway stage. And if they prove me wrong and manage to get Champions League football, good on them. But I think they'll finish 6th. 17th, I went for Ipswich. I said that I felt that morale and momentum would just keep them up. I said I felt it'd probably go down to the last day. I thought that Leif Davis would continue getting loads of assists. That hasn't been the case, and that's a shame. Unfortunately though, at the minute, Ipswich, they are currently in 18th. And I think that's where they will finish. I think we're going to see all of the promoted teams go down again, which is a massive shame, but it shows you the gulf now. I go to watch Leeds United a lot with my brother and my brother-in-law, so I see a lot of the Championship. The teams that are going to come up there, they'll struggle again. None of them look like they're anywhere near Premier League quality. Sheffield United, I think, are coming top of the league. Leeds might be. Burnley, they all look rubbish, frankly. For Premier League standard, they all look terrible. So, yeah, it's a shame what we're now starting to see as a repeated cycle. But Ipswich, I think they'll finish in 18th, which is where they currently are. But I predicted 17th for them, so didn't do too bad with that. 16th, I went for Everton. I felt that Dyche's know-how would be enough to keep them up. They are currently in 16th, so I've done well with that one again. I think they're going to drop down one to 17th. I think the promoted teams just aren't quite at their level, but I think everyone else is actually better than them. So, yeah, I think they'll just about survive. I hope they stick with Dyche and back him in the summer with a bit of money, which is what they need. They've lost Onana, which is a big loss for them. But they just need to stay in the Premier League going into the new stadium, which I think they will do. 15th, I had Wolves. They're currently a little bit below that in 17th. Things started to go really, really, really badly for them this season. Under Gary O'Neill, they're experiencing a bit of a new manager bounce at the minute, which is really, really good for them. Great to see. Cunha is in amazing form. They're currently in 17th now, after digging themselves out of the relegation zone. I think they'll finish one further above that. I've got them actually in 16th, the Wolves, which after how badly the season has gone at the start, I think that'll be fine for them. 16th, I think Wolves fans will be happy with that all in all, considering they look like they could have come down. But yeah, I had them in finishing 15th. I'm now changing that to 16th, so I've not done too badly with this prediction so far. Okay, 14th, I said Fulham. I said that they'd struggle without Bellingham. I thought that'd be a big, big problem. When I made this prediction, they hadn't gone and signed Sander Berge yet. However, Sander Berge has been kept out of the team by Sasa Lukic. I didn't see that coming. Sasa Lukic has been fantastic. He's really stepped up. He's mostly been paired alongside Andreas Pereira next to him. They are starting to play Sander Berge and Lukic together now and play Pereira as a 10. But they've got a lot of options there and flexibility, and they've had some really, really big results against bigger teams. He's a great example, Marco Silva, of somebody he's got a defined style of play, but he's tactically flexible, he's pragmatic, and that's why he's doing so well compared to Russell Martin. But they are currently in 8th, so I had them 14th. They're currently in 8th, doing amazing. I've got them now. I think they'll slide one further back, and I think they'll finish 9th, which will be a great season for them. So fair play. Good on them. 13th, I went for Bournemouth. I thought Bournemouth would do well under Iraola, and I felt that 13th represented a really, really good season for them. They've massively overachieved. Another one that's overachieved. They're currently in 7th, which is outstanding. And I think they'll be there or thereabouts. I don't see them massively slipping off. I'm now predicting them to finish one lower than 7th, where they currently are. So I've gone for 8th for them, which again would be an amazing season for them. Good on them. 12th, I went for Brentford, which is where they currently are. So I've got that one spot on. That's pretty good. I thought that they'd keep toning. I really did think they would keep toning. I didn't see him go into Saudi. Wow, interesting one. A lot of people predicted that Brentford would get relegated, which, hasn't turned out to be the case. I went for 12th. That's where they currently are. I do think they will slide one further back to 13th, though. And I think under the circumstances for them, that would be a good season. I think that would be another solid season. There's a hell of a lot of quality in the Premier League these days. They've lost even Tony. They've not spent any money, really. That would be a really good season for them. Okay, so here's the second maddest prediction that I had. Chelsea finishing in 11th. I got this one really wrong. I said that, I might end up with egg on my face and I'd be happy to hold my hands up. Hey, that's been the case. Happy to hold my hands up. The reason I said 11th was I said that I think Todd Bowley is a tyrant. He's a terrible owner. I still think that. I think he's a bad owner. I said that they're a basket case of a club. I still think that. However, Enzo Maresca is just defying the odds. He is playing two different teams, one in the cup competitions, one in the Premier League. It seems to be working for them very well. We're not hearing problems of an extremely unhappy camp, and he's just handled that situation amazingly, absolutely amazingly. They're currently in 4th, which is fantastic. I think they'll end up finishing in 3rd. Which I think represents a brilliant season for that young team. 10th, I said Brighton, and they are currently in 10th, so another really good prediction from there. But they're in a really bad run of form. I do think they'll turn that around, but I've got them sliding one further back, finishing in 11th, which would represent a great first season for Herzl. Really, really good. 9th, I went for West Ham, and it's not going well for West Ham, which I am a bit surprised at. Their defence looks extremely, extremely shaky. I think Lopetegui is a really good manager, but he's really struggling this season. They're currently in 13th, but I think they're going to slide a little bit further back than that, and I think they'll end up finishing in 15th, which may see Lopetegui get sacked. I hope that isn't the case. They just need to rebuild in summer and go again. They need a bit more stability. Maybe they've signed too many players. But yeah, 15th I'm going for West Ham. Okay, another one that I got wrong. In 8th I went for Palace. Now I said this in the prediction. Sometimes when a team is doing really well at the end of a season under a new manager, when they've got new manager bounce, that lasts until the end of the season, and then it falls off at the start of the new season. I said I didn't think that would happen, but it has. It has. However, I think Palace are one of the best run clubs in the league. I think there must have been temptation to sack him when they were in the relegation zone, and I'm glad that they stuck with him because he's turned it round, Glasner, and they're now doing a lot better in the last 10 games. They're currently in 15th, but at one point they were in the relegation zone. I think they'll finish one higher than that in 14th, and they just need to rebuild. I said that I felt that they wouldn't lose Gahey, but even if they do, they've got Anderson. Instead, they lost Anderson, who I think was the better centre-back out of him and Gahey. So, they just need to rebuild in summer. But 14th, after the start that they had, wouldn't be a bad season for them. So, in 7th, I had gone for Spurs. I said that I love Ange, but he's another philosophical seller who won't change what he does, and that will be their undoing, and they will run into having injuries. Guess what? Guess what's happened? His system is too physically demanding, that's why they have too many injuries, and they concede too many goals because of his inability to change. They're currently in 11th. I do think they'll go one higher than that, and they'll finish in 10th. But is that good enough for Spurs? Will that see Ange sacked? Maybe. I love him as a bloke, but he's stubborn as a mule, and I hate seeing that in football. You need to change. Okay, another one that I got really wrong. Obviously, as a Man United fan, you've got to back your team. You've got to be an optimist in some ways. But I thought we finished 6th. Most predictions had Man United finishing higher than that. Lots of the pundits had Man United in the top 4. I didn't think we would. I had us in 6th. We're currently in 14th. And we got battered by Newcastle last night because I'm filming this on New Year's Eve. I think we will improve slightly from 14th, and I've got us finishing in 12th, which is a terrible season, and we need a massive summer rebuild, and that's all I'm going to say about that. 5th, I had Villa. People said that they'd struggle with Champions League football and the Prem. That seems to be playing out. They are, and they're currently in 9th, behind Bournemouth and Fulham. I do think that they will finish above those two, though. I think they will regain some form, and I've got Villa finishing in 7th. And you know what? If they can have if they can get to knockouts of the Champions League, that's a bad season for them. I really don't. Fourth, I had Newcastle. They're currently in fifth, and they are in brilliant form. I think they'll capitalise on City's bad form, and I think that they will end up finishing fourth, which is what I predict them to finish in, and they're currently in fifth. Third, I had Liverpool. I said that I expected Slot to come in and do really, really, really well. A lot of people had them outside the top four because of Klopp leaving, and I said I didn't think that would happen. I thought that Slot had come in and do really well. I thought third would represent a brilliant season for them, but they've surpassed all expectations. I am completely in awe of them. I think that Slot has been amazing. I think that they are amazing as a team. If they go on to win the treble, I wouldn't be surprised. That is how good I think they are. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now, they might get some injuries, they might tail off slightly, and they might not do that. But right now, they look like the best team in the world, and I think they will definitely win the league at a canter. So predicting that they will finish first. I had City in second, so I was one of the people that predicted that they wouldn't win the league this year, and I was definitely right about that because there's no way that was going to happen. But yeah, no one could have predicted what's going on so far for them. They've really missed Rodri. I think he is the best player in the world. We're now seeing that. You know, he won the Ballon d'Or, and we're now seeing that he definitely is the best player in the world because look at how much they're missing him. He was papering over some cracks there. They've got too many older players whose legs have gone. That is the crux of their issues for me. They need a massive rebuild in the next two windows, but they haven't spent a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. They've got money to burn, I would say. So, yeah, I think they're going to spend. They'll get 1 or 2 in January, but they'll have a big summer. They'll have a really big summer, and they're going to come back. They'll definitely come back. But I've got them finishing 5th, actually, and they are currently in. Where are they currently? They're currently in 6th, and I think they'll finish in 5th. And then first, I went for Arsenal, and I thought this would be the year that Arteta finally got over the line, and they're currently 9 points back in 3rd. Unfortunately for them, you know, I've got them finishing 2nd, so I've got them going up 1, but another year where they're destined to finish in 2nd. So, yeah, you know what, I guess, guys, some spectacularly wrong. I got 3 spectacularly wrong, but I've got a lot there or thereabouts, so I'm pretty happy with these predictions. Using Clem ASMR's point system, whereby he goes for you get 3 points if you've got it bang on, and you get 1 point if you're 1 position away. At the mid stage, I'm at 17 points, which is pretty good by those metrics. I've seen Clem get a lot worse than 17 over the years. I'm only messing Clem if you're watching this. So yeah, not bad. So as a recap then, my new predictions, I've got Southampton in 20th, Leicester 19th, Ipswich in 18th, Everton in 17th, Wolves in 16th, West Ham in 15th, Palace in 14th, Brentford in 13th, Man United in 12th, Brighton in 11th, Spurs in 10th, Fulham in 9th, Bournemouth in 8th, Villa in 7th, Forest in 6th, City in 5th, Newcastle in 4th, Chelsea in 3rd, Arsenal in 2nd, and Liverpool winning the league at a canter. So guys, let me know your thoughts on the video, let me know your predictions,